Broadcasting from the business capital of the world, this is the Podcast Business News Network.
We are back with Jenny Pippin, the founder and lead designer of Pippin Home Designs. Excited to have her here again to talk more about the work she does, and to see it in person is also amazing because we're live on the Zoomcast as well. Hey, Jenny, how are you?
And good afternoon. I'm doing great, Jill. How are you?
I'm doing fantastic. Pleasure to have you back here. And for new time listeners, tell us a little about your company and what you do.
So I'm located in the Lake Norman area, just north of Charlotte in North Carolina. And we design new homes and design also renovations for existing homes, whole house gut and redos, facelifts, and things like that. It's wonderful. It's a great place to be for what we do for a living because all of our clients want to focus on a view. So most of our clients are building on waterfront and on mountainsides. And anything that has a view, including equestrian estates and farmland.
Beautiful. Well, happy to have you here. It's pippinhomedesigns.com. That's Pippin, homedesigns.com. And you're based out of North Carolina, correct?
Yes, I am.
So most of the work you do is there, or tell us specifically where the work that you do is.
The majority of our work is based around North Carolina, South Carolina, Virginia, all the way down to Florida and up the East Coast. We have some projects out in Oklahoma and Wyoming. And so we'll go anywhere.
Well, can I ask you about your background and how did you get into architectural design? Could you tell us a little bit about your, I guess your passion and what drove you here?
Well, I grew up on a tobacco farm in eastern North Carolina, and I was an artist, and I thought that's
Wow.
what I was going to be doing for a living. But I also loved homes. I loved being around houses, and my dad actually was doing remodels and also building furniture. So I designed furniture as well. But I went to school at Wake Tech in Raleigh. I have a 2-year architectural technology degree from there. And when I graduated from college, I was working with a couple of builders over in the Raleigh area, and I was living out in the country in a house that was built as a passive solar home. And I thought that was the coolest thing, and why wasn't everybody building that way? And during the time that I was living in that house, I was actually involved in a bad car accident. I broke my back and I wound up in a body cast. And I was in that body cast, laid up in that house, in that passive solar home for about 4 months. So I was able to be in this beautiful space because of all the windows and the natural light coming in. But I realized that home didn't function for me as a disabled person. And thankfully it was only a temporary disability, but it gave me the insights to learn that, a house needs to be accessible for everyone, not just someone who is aging and in a wheelchair or using a walker. I was only 26 years old when that happened, and I needed a home that could function for me then at 26. And really, even kids need homes that function for them too. So I determined at that time everybody needs an accessible house, right? So I went back to school after I was able to heal and go back to work. I started going back to school as well part-time, and I learned about healthy building and healthy indoor air quality. I learned about passive solar, and I also learned about accessibility and designing for making a home accessible for people of all
Wow.
ages. So that's really what started my career early on, was that car accident and living in that passive solar house.
Unbelievable. Well, beautiful work you do. I'm going to urge everyone to check it out online. Look at the gallery. We're going to talk more about your accolades and awards. And when you go to the website, there's a beautiful home right there. I'm assuming you designed this home. Where is that located?
On Lake Norman.
Oh my goodness. Beautiful.
Thank you. And that home on our homepage is a house that recently won a national, a state, and a local design award for us.
You're kidding. Oh
Yeah.
my goodness. So this is beautiful work you're doing. And
Thank
I
you.
know for today, you also wanted to focus a little bit about what's behind you. Tell us, because the house behind you is the one that you've designed, right?
Yes, absolutely it is. I'll see if I can move over a little bit so you can see a little more of it.
Wow.
This home was designed for a good friend of ours, and she is an interior designer, and it's on Lake Norman. And she wanted a lot of outdoor spaces And of course, you can see there's lots of them there and a nice pool and all overlooks Lake Norman.
Beautiful. I mean, tell me where did you start with this?
So we started one day when she came into town she was living in Florida at the time, and I met her at the lot and we walked the lot. It was completely tree covered. And it was just taking a vision. When I walk a property and I see what the views are and I get a feel for the
Wow.
land actually tells me what it wants, in addition to what the homeowner is telling me that they want. And so I'm melding the two, concepts together to come up with a design that works for everybody. All the features of the land, the lay of the land, the path of the sun, trees that we want to preserve, and if there's a specific view that they want to take advantage of, as well as a view they don't want to take advantage of. Those kind of things I take into consideration when I'm designing a home. And so we walked the lot, and then we came back to my office and we talked through the things that she wanted to incorporate. And I said, I totally understand it. I take lots and lots of notes, and those notes then become my checklist as I'm sitting down to design a house from scratch. And everything starts on a drawing board. I've been drawing for 38 years. I've been designing homes on a drafting board that my dad built for me.
Oh my goodness. And nowadays, does everybody want the 3D,
Oh yeah.
as well? So you go from paper to computer as well?
Yes, yes, we do. Yes, and my husband works with me, and
Mm-hmm.
he does that. He'll take the hand drawn sketches and put them into CAD, and we provide the 3D and the walkthroughs, and we also have a team of people that assist him as well. So we're able to provide the client a fly around, a fly through, and then they can really see what their home's going to look like well before it's ever completed. And then we work with interior designers as well, and one in particular that uses the same software program that we do. So she's able to take our CAD drawings and then finish it with all of the interior furnishings and finishes that the client, desires. And so it's a great team process, and we work with a builder as well.
Amazing. And
Yeah.
they've won over 72 design awards, local, regional, national design competitions. I mean, pretty impressive work.
Yes, so far, yes, thank you.
Oh my goodness. And let me ask, you mentioned you used to do marketing, right?
Yes, I did some marketing as well for our company.
And then how did you changed over? Let me ask, you were a full-time marketing director, right?
No, I had a full-time marketing director
Oh,
on staff, but
oh,
one of my passions is marketing too.
oh, got
So,
it, got it. I'm sorry, I was confused
yeah,
with your notes. Oh
yeah.
my goodness. Wow, you really
Yeah,
do it all.
so I really love that aspect of promoting our business. So I really was working hand in hand with our on staff marketing company or marketing firm, and person. We had somebody on staff as well as a marketing firm that we worked with. And then I have tons of ideas, and just you can just ask my team. I can't turn them off.
I could imagine. Well, I'm looking at your projects here in the gallery. I hope everyone does the same. Where did you want to go to next and talk about your work? Because there's a lot. Oh my goodness, it's beautiful.
Yeah, we're doing new homes and renovating existing homes. We're also designing barndominiums now. We have a
What? I've never heard that term. Say barn dominium.
yes, it's like a high-end luxury garage. For we have a lot of clients that have collections of cars and other things, and so these are providing a way for them to store them and also have an apartment within them. And they can throw parties there, they can rent them out, they can be income producing, or they can live in it full time and just have all their toys around them. And so they look like an oversized barn, but also a residence. So we're
Wow.
calling them, luxury garages, and they're officially known as barndominiums.
Wow, I learned
Yeah.
something new today.
Yeah.
This
Yeah.
is impressive work you do. Clearly, you have a passion for this. And you said 38 years you've been doing this?
Yes, 38 years with my own company.
Oh my goodness. And let me
Yeah.
just ask you some of the trends, like behind you, your friend's house, right? I
Mhm.
mean, are we doing all dark windows? What's happening? The white windows are gone. What do we call the dark windows?
Yeah, the most people are doing it in either a black window or a bronze window now, and the black and white trend is in. So many people are doing the white houses with the black trim, the black windows, and now we're also seeing the opposite. black houses with white windows, or even all black houses with black windows and doors.
Wow. And
Yeah.
what about now for the front of the homes? What are most people using in your area? Like behind you, is that stucco? Is that siding? Is that what do
Um,
I see?
this one is actually a white stone and stucco combination. We're also doing houses that are in white brick, a lot of board and batten. That's
Yes.
a vertical siding.
Mm-hmm.
And we're getting ready to start a couple of houses that are going to be all shake, the cedar shake style, like the
Got it.
new
I was
ones
going to ask, in New York, a lot of people started doing the shake where I live on Long Island. Now I feel like I'm seeing less shake, more of the board and batten and the thick horizontal planks.
Yes, yeah, we do still have a lot of that here. I'm starting to see a trend again away from the farmhouse and now going more towards the shake and shingle style in this area, which we haven't seen here in a while. It's probably been, I don't know, 15, 20 years since we had that big demand for craftsman style, which
Mm-hmm.
were really a lot of shake and some horizontal siding in this area. But we've gone through different eras with the stucco and with siding and with brick, and
Uh-huh.
the white brick is really in right now and
And
hard to get apparently.
when you say white brick, is it fully brick or is it like the facade, like the half a brick that gets like veneered on?
Oh, it's actually we're using full brick.
Oh my
Yeah. And
goodness.
North Carolina is really a lot of clay is here. So a lot of the brick manufacturers are in this area.
Wow. Oh, so it's okay, so less than transporting costs.
That's right. That's right. And so brick is very prevalent in this area.
Oh my goodness. Well,
You don't see
also,
much of the red brick anymore though, because everybody wants a different color. We're seeing some grays and whites.
I remember my mom, we used to have red brick in our living room with a big fireplace, and she painted it white as the years went by, and it still looks really good. I mean, she's passed, my sister lives there, but it looks very rustic.
Yeah.
Oh my goodness. So I know we talked about, the accessibility, visibility options, and that's really important with your aspects. What else would you say is important to create this fully supportive home?
Well, there's six key elements that we focus on when we're designing a home for a client that's really fully supportive. And the first is working with the land itself so that we
Hmm.
have a house that harmonizes with its surroundings and the architectural alignment with the land. It all starts and ends with the site. So every homeowner has a reason and a purpose for choosing their building site, and each site has its own ideal way of being developed, to preserve it. So finding the integration between the two is where the magic happens. So the inherent mutual exchange with the land enriches the lives of the homeowners, and it instills in them a sense of belonging and a deep companionship, really, with Mother Nature through caring for their building site.
Wow.
So, yeah. So then another is, of course, their needs, desires, and goals. So it really has to strike a balance between all of their needs, desires, and goals. And by exploring the furthest reaches of each, we're able to find a shared center for all three. And we really want to incorporate all of the people that will be living in
Hmm.
the home, the parents, the kids, a lot of times the grandparents will be in the home as well. We want to make sure everybody's needs are incorporated as we're going about designing. So all the homes will then feel fully supportive to the collective needs of all the occupants. And we explore the interconnected relationships among all of those, which is really crucial in identifying the common ground of these elements that will best support the homeowner and their families.
Now, I gotta ask, being a woman in your field, that probably wasn't so common play. Were you like a real pioneer? I mean, how were you, right? Was there many other females out there getting into architectural design?
Well, when I got started in 1984, the head of our program at our college was a female, and then there was three, myself and two other gals in our class, and everyone else was guys. So yeah, it was very rare and extremely rare for me to find anybody else that I could be have a mentor with when I was growing up through the industry, just getting started. So I ended up working for several builders that was really where I learned about houses, because in school they really don't teach you much about building and designing homes. It's more about commercial properties, and that really wasn't where my passion was. So my passion is around houses only. So working with builders that built houses was really where I learned all that I know now.
Oh,
Yeah.
beautiful. Well,
Yeah,
thank you. We're excited to have you here. We have to remind everyone how we can reach you. Would you mind sharing your website, phone number, any contact information?
absolutely. So you can visit our website at Pippin Home Designs. That's PippinHomeDesigns.com. And you can also find us on our YouTube channel, Pippin Home Designs. We have an Instagram and LinkedIn and Facebook as well. So we're all over social media. Oh, and we have a Pinterest page too.
Beautiful.
Yeah.
Exciting to have you here. This is beautiful work. Can I ask you, who do you credit as your mentor?
My mentor growing up was my aunt, my dad's baby sister. I spent a
Oh,
lot of time with her. She was maybe 12 years older than me at the time. Or a little, no, she was more than that. But anyway, I was able to go spend time with her at college when she was away at college, and as a young kid, having the opportunity to spend time with her there. And then she moved off to Atlanta, and I visited her frequently. So she was one of the first people to leave the farm and, go off and do something different besides farming. And that's what I wanted to do too. But I grew up around entrepreneurs my whole life. All of my family were farmers. My best friend's family were farmers. So we're all entrepreneurs. So I grew up with a lot of experience in that mindset.
wow. And let me ask, wow. So you and your husband are doing this together. It's your business, right? I know you mentioned you have furry friends, right?
Yes, we have furry friends.
I was going to say, do
Yeah.
your furry friends work in the business? Are they part of it?
Oh, they're definitely part of it. Absolutely. They're here with us all the time. We have 2 dogs and 3 cats. And my husband joined me in the business about almost 10 years ago. He was originally in the medical field and supervised the MRI department at the local hospital. So he saw a lot of unhealthy people. And it was really important for him, to be able to work with us and help people get into a healthier living situation.
Wow. And now to start the process to work with someone like yourself, I mean, do you offer initial consultation? Is there a charge for that? How do you get the feel of, what someone wants and needs? And could you describe the process and how lengthy it must be?
Yeah, to start to finish is pretty lengthy. Generally, it's about a 5 to 6 month process. And how we get started typically is, if it's a new home, we'll have the prospect come here to our office, and we'll meet with them to find out exactly what it is that they think that they're planning to build. And they bring in their survey and their septic information, because most of the properties here aren't on city water and sewer. They have a on-site well and septic system. So we have to design around all of that and the setbacks on the lot. So this, having that survey and a topographical survey, which shows us the lay of the land, is also a critical piece. So they have a lot of homework to do to bring all of that information together before meeting here in the office with me. And as we're talking through everything that they want, we also have a design questionnaire that we have them fill out. And then I'm taking extensive notes as well, so I know everything that they want and things that they say they don't want. And
Mm-hmm.
all of that information then becomes the scope of the project itself. And then I take that information and create a written proposal for that client
Okay.
based on what they want. And if they are ready to move forward, then we'll get started in the design process. Now, if it's a renovation project, and rather than meeting them here in the office for the first meeting, I will meet them at their home and walk through the home to find out what it is that they like about it, what they don't like about it, what they want to change. So I'm getting an overall visual of what could possibly happen there at their house. And then I offer ideas and suggestions. And most often people will tell me that they've never heard or never thought of the ideas that I recommend. So we're
Wow.
able to transform their homes into something that is really spectacular for them.
Oh my goodness.
All of our
Beautiful.
clients don't want to leave their homes. They love them so much.
Well, that's it. We love hearing these client testimonials. If you go to the website, pippinhomedesigns.com, obviously you could see more of her work, your blog, your articles. You can book a consult right there. Wow. The awards, there's so many. I'm assuming your business is a big word of mouth, right? Obviously, a lot of people, know of you and they come to you that way. But also, all these awards, have they helped you being so distinguished? My goodness.
Yes, absolutely. They do. And, we're able to promote the awards after, each one of the award
Ah.
competitions are over. And then we also have a house page. I didn't mention that, but
Oh,
we
tell
have a
me.
house page. Yeah, I don't know if you're familiar with house.
I
It's
am HOU. Is it a ZZ?
Yes, HOUZZ. So you can find me there at Pippin Home Designs. We actually have 96 5-star reviews on that site. So you can find out what our clients are saying about us and also see some of our projects on there as well. And we also, just this month, won another award from House for service and for design. So I think that's like 10 or 11 years in a row now.
Amazing. And by the way, you're on Instagram, Facebook. I saw that as well. You mentioned your interior designer friend before. Is that Michelle? Is that her on your page?
No, this particular one in the background.
No, I
This
saw
is
Michelle McCoy on your Instagram page.
Oh yes, yeah. Michelle McCoy is one of the ones that we're working with on the barnuminiums.
Oh my goodness. Beautiful
Yeah.
work. Got to check out your social media. And how did you want to end off for today with your listeners?
I would love to have an opportunity to talk with you. I think we'll do another podcast and have people call in with questions. We'd love to
Beautiful.
answer some questions. I can talk more about the 6 key elements that we're going to be incorporating into a fully supportive home. If you want to go into more of that today, or we can do that in a future episode.
Well, we got 3 minutes left. So where do you want to start?
Okay. Well, let's just say next time, call in. Let's ask questions about our 6 key elements. I would love to share those with you.
Perfect. Are we back on next week?
We are skipping a week. We'll be back on the 19th.
All right. Awesome. Sounds good. Can't wait. We'll do that. And thank you for being here, for joining us. If someone wants to reach out, again, feel free. Pippin Home Designs. Look them up. You could just Google them and you can find them all over the place, social media and on their website. And we appreciate your time here today, getting to know you. And I also was reading on the website, you have on the social Instagram, it's a Women in Construction Week.
That's right.
Is that
Yeah.
what you guys are celebrating
Yeah,
this
we're
week?
celebrating this whole week about women in construction, and we're getting more and more women all the time. It's absolutely wonderful. So we're promoting the women that we're working with. So that's where you saw Michelle McCoy. You'll see
Yeah.
several others, Kirsten White, and Tracy Johnson, and who else do we have on there coming up?
That's okay. We'll just go to the website. We'll take a peek.
Fantastic.
All
Thank you.
right. Sound good. Thank you so much. Pleasure having you here. And again, beautiful work. Thanks so much for being here. Tell your husband, what's his name, by the way?
His name is Wes.
Hi, Wes. Tell him we said hello.
I will. We also call Wes the superhero.
Uh-oh. Why is he the superhero? He
Because
saves the day?
He saves the day all the time.
God bless him. Thank you so much. Have a fantastic day. And to all of our listeners, stay tuned. We'll be right back with more.
Are you looking for even more of the podcasts and hosts that you love? The Podcast Business News Network is proud to announce that you now have even more ways to listen live. Check out the MyTuner Radio, online radio box, and Simple Radio apps on iOS and Android, or find us online. Search for Business News Network on mytuner-radio.com, or search Podcast Business News Network on streama.com and onlineradiobox.com/US. Take your podcast on the go and don't miss a minute of the action.
Broadcasting from the business capital of the world, this is the Podcast Business News Network.
For nearly 2,000 severely injured veterans, everyday life has become filled with barriers.
Day-to-day simple tasks can become pretty daunting.
I have to carry my chair up 2 flights of steps or have somebody do it for me.
What scares me the most is just the falling.
When I'm struggling with my house, I think, to have that one great barrier just knocked down, it's crucial.
Home for Our Troops is a wonderful nonprofit that builds a
mortgage-free, fully adaptive, handicap-accessible house.
And there's no catch.
It'll be our very first home that we've ever owned. This is a game changer.
This is where your life begins again.
We need you to join us in completing this important mission. Please visit hfotusa.org and help build homes and rebuild lives.
Because of you, everything's going to be okay.